Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I kind of came to a realization, which is kind of obvious, but with a W-2 job, you hit a ceiling. And once you hit the ceiling, you basically can have two paths. And it's either you can put in a lot of extra work to break through that ceiling, which is possible, or you just can pivot to something else that has no ceiling. So I kind of said this generally on purpose, but for me, I'll give an example of me personally as a pharmacist. And, I graduated in 2013. From 2013 to 2017, I worked as a normal inpatient hospital pharmacist. And after completing my master's in public health degree, I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity to become a director of pharmacy in 2017 at a small hospital to get experience called Kindred Hospital up in the Bay Area. And from there, I was there for about almost 2 years. And then from there, I elevated to regional director of pharmacy at Seton Medical Center, where I oversaw two hospitals, or one hospital and one nursing home up in Daly City. So I was 29 years old and was managing a pharmacy team of 70 people, I believe, give or take. I think it was 60 to 70. And hit the peak. And, once you're director level, you typically work with like the C-suite. So the chief operating officer, the chief financial officer, the chief executive officer, and you work with other director positions. Maybe if it's large enough, you might have some VPs in between the C-suite. But I basically got to see what it was like at the top, right? And what's interesting is as a pharmacy director, typically we're maybe the top three highest paid in terms of the whole hospital, because for pharmacy it's highly specialized to be a pharmacy director. So typically we're paid less than the CEO, the COO, and if there's a chief medical officer, typically we're paid less than them, obviously, because they're a physician by trade. So typically I would say maybe as a pharmacy director, you're probably the top 5 highest paid position. And for me, I hit that at a pretty young age, right? I was director at 27, I was regional director at 29, and I was always paid like I think around 210K was kind of what I was paid back then. And I just thought to myself like, okay, well, if I want to, I kind of felt like I hit my ceiling at a very young age, right? Like to be a regional pharmacy director at 29 years old, making 210K, like that's pretty up there in terms of salary and in terms of title. So for me, I just thought, well, at the time in 2019, I think the highest paid position might be like maybe 250, 260. And I was just like, okay, well, you have to go to like a larger hospital and like imagine like Stanford, for example, or like UCSF. But if it's a bigger operation, you're going to be managing more people. And if there's more people, there's more headache, there's more complexity if you work at a larger academic institution. So I just thought, okay, is it worth it to make another $4,000, for example, like to go from 210K to 250K and then deal with all this additional headache and stress? So that was really something I had to really consider. And to me, at first, the answer was like, you know what, I do want to kind of do that route, right? Because I haven't experienced working at a bigger hospital, which I do work at today, right? So I can definitely tell you for sure that you have a lot of people, there's a lot of personalities, there's a lot of strong personalities, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of bureaucracy as you get to bigger, larger academic institutions. So it sounds cool to say on paper, but in reality it's just a lot of politics, a lot of office politics, a lot of bureaucracy, strong personalities, strong egos. More people you have involved, the more complex it is, things take forever to change, right? So I was like, but at the time I didn't know that. So I was just like, you know what, that $4,000 was worth it. But fast forward today, I'm 34, almost 35 here in March. And I'm just like, wow, like I would gladly take a $40,000 pay cut to deal with less stress, less politics, less complexity, right? So like I only knew that once I experienced it. So kind of back to my last example, I was just there and at Seton and I was like, okay, well, I can go to a bigger hospital, make more money. I can maybe go to like a Kaiser where you have like even higher positions like VP of pharmacy or chief pharmacy officer. But like I said, once again, they didn't make that much more money. Maybe at the time it was like maybe 250, 260K, and I was making 210K. Okay, so that was one route. Another route you can go down is you can go down the C-suite route, right? Or you become a VP. But once again, like historically, those positions don't have healthcare backgrounds for some reason. I think it may change in the future, but a lot of people who are in the C-suite, like CEO, COO, CFO, they typically don't have a healthcare background. They have more of a financial background. They might have a MBA. They may have a master's in health and hospital administration. They may have a master's in public health degree, like what I do. Then that's the reason why I got my master's in public health degree, because I want to open doors for me to become a VP, to become a C-suite. And like I said, once again, they might make like maybe 250 to maybe 300, and I was making 210. So once again, it's pretty higher pay, higher title, but the downside of becoming C-suite or VP is it's more of a figurehead position. It's more of a political position. So, if you have a new board of directors, if the hospital gets sold and purchased, usually they'll purchase a C-suite and bring their own C-suite. So you're more replaceable versus if I stayed as a pharmacy director, it's a little bit harder to replace a pharmacy director versus a C-suite executive. So, and I've seen it multiple times at hospitals I've been at where, a hospital got sold to another company and they basically got rid of the whole C-suite, brought in their own C-suite, and then from there, the C-suite will determine, which directors and VPs they want to keep. So, for me, I just thought, okay, well, I could try to become a C-suite. I definitely saw the skill set that they had. They're more business oriented. I kind of consider myself to be a little more business oriented. Obviously, I was able to, buy 52 units of real estate while working full time. And, for me, it's all about profit and loss, right? You have to follow the money and have that mindset. So I always had that mindset in me. And once again, I was just like, you know what? It doesn't seem worth it for me to pursue the C-suite route because number one, it's not that much more pay. Number two, my job security is going to go down, right? Because you're even more replaceable as a C-suite than as you are as a pharmacy director. Everyone's replaceable, but you're more so if you're in the C-suite, and you're at the mercy of the board of directors. If you're doing great one year, great. If you're not doing great, they might want to replace you with someone else that they know. So, those are my two routes. So it's like, okay, either A, I can go to a larger academic hospital to become a pharmacy director and make, $40,000 more, or B, I can pursue a C-suite route and make, maybe 40 to, let's just call it $100,000 more. And I was just like, you know what, like both those options don't seem as enticing to me, because when I hit my top position, you see a lot of like incompetent C-suite people that got promoted. I don't know how this person got promoted up, but maybe they know what to say. They speak well. It's not about what you know, it's who you know, right? Like most of the time, especially in the C-suite positions where people know each other and they'll kind of bring each other in. So, for me, I'm not huge on limiting beliefs, but let's be honest here. I'm Vietnamese American. I'm like 5'5". I just don't have that look or the presence of like a C-suite executive. Please tell me if I'm wrong. So I just kind of knew that, I would have a ceiling, right? Because a lot of times in the C-suite, it's predominantly Caucasian. So, especially in hospitals, right? I'm speaking about hospitals specifically. It's mostly Caucasians. And, they hire what they're familiar with, right? So hiring a pharmacy director background, Vietnamese American, I'm younger too. I'm in my like early 30s or mid 30s. So I just know that my chances are going to be very slim unless I'm able to move up internally, right? And like you said, for me, is all that juice, all that effort worth it for additional, let's call it $50,000 to $100,000 more? So for me, I thought a little bit differently and pivoted into that. You know what? I just want to have a job that, I enjoy, that I can maintain. And on the side, use my excess energy to build businesses and buy real estate. And that's what I did, right? So I was able to, at one point scale to 90 units of real estate. Now it's 52. I was able to try to open my own pharmacy, which I sold for a loss. I tried to buy a mobile home park, which I sold for a loss. I tried an Amazon drop shipping store, which I sold for a loss. But I bought a bunch of single family homes that did well. I bought apartment complexes that did well. I'm now putting my energy towards, coaching multifamily, on creating content, on maybe becoming a realtor, because I think for me, those don't have ceilings, right? Like for me, I kind of felt like I hit my pharmacy ceiling, like where I get paid now. I don't want to disclose where I work at yet, but I work at a pretty large academic institution in Los Angeles. And, they do pay me very well, but, it comes at a price, right? It's going to be busier. It's more stressful. There's more politics. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of bureaucracy, right? So like, you're just dealing with all that. And then but at the pay I'm at, it's like I'm close to like $300,000, and the max pay that I could make as a pharmacy director ever is probably like low 300s. So for me, it's just like, okay, like maybe only like 3 to 5 hospitals would actually pay me more than I'm currently paid right now. So I kind of hit my ceiling, right? Like why put in way more effort for not much return, right? Like I could try to be C-suite, not much return. I could try to go to like even bigger hospital, but not much return. I'd rather take that time, take that energy, take that effort, still do good at my job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the type to like half-ass anything I do, but like do my job good, well, and then after hours, I put my energy to something else, right? And don't get me wrong, if I have my current job, there's opportunities for me to move up. I'll pursue it, but I'm not going to actively seek it. If it presents internally and they think I'm a great fit, then I'll try. But if not, I'm fine, where I'm at, right? And taking the energy to like allocate towards other things. I'm family planning in the future, like in the next maybe 2 years. So at that point, I care more about work-life balance, where I just go to my job, get that nice paycheck, learn some, help some, and then go home and do my side business and be with my family. So, for me, I've made way more money like buying real estate, right? Where literally I bought my first single family home in 2017 for $800K. It's worth let's call it $1.4 million today. That's $600,000 of equity over 8 years. So that's averaging about 70, 80K a year. And that's tax free. I did nothing, right? I did literally nothing besides rent it out, versus like, for me to make $78,000 more as a pharmacy director, it's hard, right? Like I have to jump jobs and start over again. Every year my property made $8,000 more, right? And I have principal pay down. So if you factor principal pay down, appreciation, rent, whatever, increase my net worth by 100K. But if I work a W-2 job, let's say I'm taking home like, if you're making like 200K, maybe you'll take home like 140K. Or 120K, which is averages about 10K a month. So like literally each of my properties make how much I take home on a annual basis, right? So this is where compounding gets more powerful. So, I like working because it's, stable income, paycheck every 2 weeks, you get benefits and all that. But I want to spend my excess time to like scale my real estate, do other businesses, because there's no ceiling. Right? Like I already hit my peak and my ceiling in pharmacy, and I have no regrets if I were to retire from pharmacy. I feel like I've done everything I need to do, right? I've hit my highest position as a regional director. I have nothing else to really gain or experience at this point, unless I go into the pharmaceutical industry, which is a whole new sector. But even then, like I felt like I've seen it all in terms of hospital setting. Healthcare doesn't really change much, especially pharmacy. It doesn't really change much. I'm dealing with the same problems, different hospital, same problem, different hospital, right? I've seen over and over again. I'm fixing the same things over and over again. So it's nice for those who like stability, but for me, I'll keep my W-2. I hit my ceiling. I'm okay hitting my ceiling, but all my excess time, all my excess energy, I want to allocate towards something that has no ceiling, right? Like towards social media, creating content, that has no ceiling. Coaching, mentorship, no ceiling. Becoming a realtor, no ceiling, right? So like buying real estate, there's no ceiling, right? And then when you buy real estate, they're not going to judge like how I look or how old I am or what race I am, right? Because like when you buy real estate, they don't care as long as you have the money and you can get the deal. That's all they care about, right? And once you have the experience, they don't care. But when you're in the more executive C-suite level positions, it's more of a political position. So they care about how you look. What's your age? Do you look the part? Like, can you imagine this person being like a CEO, right? Like if I work for a tech company, maybe someone my age could be a CEO, right? But if you're working for a hospital, they're used to having older people who are typically male, who are typically Caucasian, in these higher level positions, because they have that look, they have that presence, and they're able to communicate well, right? So, so that's why I said you have to play in the game that sets you up for the most success, right? So for me, I feel like I played my W-2 game to the best of my ability and I hit the peak. But now I want to allocate my time and energy in another game that has no ceiling that I can succeed in. And for me, that's real estate, right? And that's then sharing my journey and creating content, because I love to share what I learned, right? And I love to document my journey, and I love to teach other people. So, it goes hand in hand. And as a side tangent of that, like becoming a realtor, like if I sell more homes, I make more money, right? There's no ceiling. I can sell 1 home a month, 1 home a week, 2 homes a week, right? Like it just depends, like, who you can find, right? So for me, the key message that I want you guys to hear is, work your W-2, get your stability, get your money, pay your bills today, get excess money, take that money to invest in something that has no ceiling, which is your side hustle, right? Like YouTube has no ceiling, absolutely no ceiling, right? Like maybe I doubt it, but maybe I can blow up to be like $35 million. There's a lot of Twitch streamers who play video games. They film themselves playing video games, and they have 35 million subscribers, and they're on WWE and like have all these crazy opportunities just by filming themselves playing video games, right? So it's unlimited potential, like on the business side, right? But the W-2 side, you have stability, but you have a ceiling, right? And then there's a joke amongst Asian Americans, like there's a bamboo ceiling, right? So like for Asians, we hit the bamboo ceiling, which is typically lower than glass ceiling of others, right? So, and once you hit it, it's just like, it takes so much more effort to like break it. And like, to me, like, is that putting the effort worth it? The answer is probably no for me. I'd rather take that effort, allocate towards another area where am more likely to win that game, right? Which is real estate, which is, creating content, which is coaching, right? So that's really the key message of this, right? So like, don't feel bad. Like for me, I used to derive a lot of fulfillment in my identity from my W-2 job, right? Like I heavily identified as a pharmacist, as a pharmacy director, as someone who has experience. I have certifications, I have degrees, master's degree, doctorate degrees, all the above, right? I have all that crap, right? But once I got laid off, I was humbled as hell, right? Like when you get laid off, they don't give a shit how many degrees you have, how many certifications you have. At the end of the day, it comes down to, who's the unlucky one that get chopped off, right? Maybe they don't like me for whatever reason, or maybe I'm more expensive, whatever, flip a coin, right? I'm laid off. So after I got laid off, I realized, wow, like I felt like I did everything correct, and you're at the mercy of like some person. So I didn't like that, right? So that's why after that, my identity was shattered, and I pivoted my identity to real estate, right? Where now I more identify as a real estate investor. And then, I bought a lot of real estate, scaled to 90 units, got humbled in my mobile home park, and then that identity was shattered as a real estate investor. So now I'm somewhere in the middle where I identify more as a learner. Like for me, I like to learn and improve myself, and then to build wealth over time, right? So I don't mind working my W-2. I don't mind scaling my real estate portfolio. And I love to learn. I love to share what I learn, right? So like I went through 2 extremes where I was a pharmacist, that was shattered, went to a real estate investor, that was shattered, and now I'm somewhere in the middle where I'm a pharmacist and a real estate investor, and I like to learn, right? So like I had to go through multiple identities and have them shattered through hardship to really give me clarity and give me clarity of what I want to do moving forward. And like you said, for me, I love teaching. Like I was doing that for free my whole life. I didn't even know that, right? People got annoyed by me because I was talking too much about real estate, wealth building, 401k, and they didn't care. They got angry when I talked about money, right? Because money might be a sour topic. So that's why I love this YouTube platform where I can talk about these things, and maybe a couple people will enjoy what I have to say, right? Or maybe a lot, who knows? So, it's just like play in the game where you'll be successful at is the key thing, a message of this video. Just play where you'll be successful. And then, like I said, I don't find fulfillment for my W-2 now. Like obviously I'm not going to half-ass my job because, what I do affects patients. So, of course I'm going to give it like my all in those 8 hours I'm there, right? But after those 8 hours are done, I'm going to give it my all in my side business. I'm going to give it my all for my health. I'm going to give it my all with my family, right? That's just the way I do things. Like I give everything 100%. I don't half-ass anything, right? So that's just kind of the mindset that I have. And like I said, one day when my side business takes over my W-2 in terms of income, like by far, yeah, I'll step away from my W-2, right? Because like for me, I thought about it, like what is my ideal rich life? honestly, my ideal rich life is I can wake up whenever I want without an alarm, right? I mean, if you have kids, they're your alarm, right? So let's just say, like for me, my ideal life would be wake up without an alarm. So let's just say I wake up at like whatever 6 or 7 a.m. If I could, just have a slow morning, wake up, maybe drink some water, maybe work out, or wake up, listen to a podcast, do some stretches, journal, do my work for maybe like 2 to 4 hours, and then by the time lunch hits, I just want to eat lunch, and then after lunch I don't want to do much, right? I just want to like relax, take a nap, watch TV, watch some anime, watch some Netflix. If I have some additional work I need to do that. Go to the gym, go hiking, spend time with friends and family. Like that's my ideal life. Like I don't need much. Like I'm totally happy just doing that, right? Like just working for like 2 to 4 hours. And then in the morning and after lunch, after I eat, I'm in a food coma. I just want to relax and chill, right? Like that's it. And then like if there's like a cheap flight somewhere, just hop on that flight and go there and travel there. That's it, right? That's my ideal life, right? Literally, that's it. And if I have kids, they're in the equation, right? I drop kids off at school, do my own thing, work a little bit, do some coaching, sell some real estate, do some consulting, whatever, and then like create some content and then pick up my kids, go work out, that's it. Like that would be like my rich life. That's it. Like I am much simpler than I am. I don't need like a super fancy car. I'm very happy with like the car, my Tesla Model Y, right? My house, I'm happy with this house. Like it's perfect size. Like for me, like if I were to get a bigger house, it just would be more stressful, right? Unless I'm making like millions and millions of dollars, then shoot, at that point, maybe I will upgrade my house and pay for it cash, right? Or put a large down payment down. But right now, it just doesn't make sense. It's not gonna improve my quality of life, right? I'd rather keep my expenses as low as possible so that it gives me more freedom to do what I want when I want, right? That's more important for me. That's why I'm doing real estate. That's why I'm doing pharmacy. That's why I'm doing it together, right? Because I just want freedom of choice to do what I want when I want. And that's very important for me. So yeah, anyways, went on a huge long rant here, but just wanted to share, my thoughts on W-2 and how you hit a ceiling and is it worth it to put in the extra energy to break through that ceiling? And for me, the answer is no. I'd rather take that energy and put it in a side hustle and that has no ceiling, right? So that's just my personal choice, to each person their own, right? But this is just my personal choice. And then, ultimately, when I retire, my rich life would be like just, having slow morning where I work on something for like 2 to 4 hours, eat lunch, after lunch, do whatever I want, take a nap, go to the gym, go for a hike, spend time with my kids, whatever that looks like, right? That's all I really need to be happy. So anyways, if you want to learn how to buy multifamily real estate with some guidance and you want one-on-one coaching, check out the links down below. I have a mentorship program. If you email me, happy to drop a discount code. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.